All right. This is Robert Newman. I'm with Ray Petkevis, and we are sitting in front of Silver Lake Park in the town of Middletown, Delaware.
And this is Silver Lake Elementary School.
And what I've got on camera, albeit a little shakily there for a moment, is an elementary school that is located in the Appoquinimink School District. There's 9 schools. I think we've gotten 5 or 6 today. This is like number 5 or 6. I don't remember which, but anyway, it's an elementary school. We're going to catch the sign here so that you can see it. Obviously, it is fronted by a park. And here we go. It's probably one of the few schools in the district so far that Ray doesn't have a child in.
My son's only been to a couple of them, it seems like. But the thing is, I've got experience in all these for different reasons. So Silver Lake Elementary, sits amid the campus that makes up the park.
Sure.
As well as right over here, it's the YMCA pool.
Okay.
So although my kids have never gone to this school, I've got experience in this campus here, because during the summertime we are members of the YMCA. This is the pool house. So the YMCA has really 2 locations here in Middletown. One is the gym facility, so if you're to go to like work out, that's on the other side of town.
Sure.
And then the pool facility here, which they're actually rapidly expanding. So there's going to be a huge YMCA facility here. But this is our summer swim club. We come over here; it's real nice. They've got a kiddie pool. They've got the regular pool, and the membership's very affordable. Little League is also shares this campus.
Okay.
So my son Jake played t-ball last season. He didn't play baseball this year. I was a little upset by it because he was, in my opinion, he was really good. He wasn't the best player on the team. The best player on the team, I'm going to give a shout out, Lane. His dad was a starting quarterback for the University of Delaware, and obviously an athletic family. I met his dad, and I was like, Jesus, look at this guy, he's a monster. And I'm 6'7", 250 pounds, and I met his dad, and he's just this real well-built guy. And I was like, why aren't you coach? And he's like, it's t-ball, buddy. You go ahead, you do it. So his son, the first day, gets up there, and he's like, I don't need the tee, coach, and he's just like crushing the ball. But anyway, back to it was nuts. He didn't want the tee. It's t-ball. So we played t-ball out here. This is the site of the Middletown MOT Little League. There's a whole bunch of fields here. It's a huge organization. I got to say, there's probably 1,000 kids that play baseball. Jake, my son, didn't want to come back the following year, and I asked him, why don't you want to play baseball, buddy? You were really good. He said, Dad, I don't want to wear pants. What do you mean you don't want to wear pants? He said, I don't want to wear pants. I said, so we're gonna eliminate sports based on the bottom half of the uniform. He's like, yeah. So we're down now to either basketball, swimming, I guess lacrosse and soccer. So he played soccer this year. So our experience here is 2 years of t-ball. The second year I coached the team, I had an absolute ball. So that was my experience really with Silver Lake Elementary. You guys can get the statistics and all that stuff for the school offline. I'm not going to bore you with, teacher-student ratios and test scores. That's all stuff that you can Google. But kind of a boots on the ground look at what this is. It's the YMCA, the school, and the sports facility and the park. They'll do various events here. So really, really cool facility. One of the things that's nice about this, as I turn this giant truck around, is that this one's in town. So when folks talk to each other, there's an internal language in Middletown, if you would. And they say, oh, you live in Middletown? Yeah, I do. And they'll say, well, what community are you in? And it's how we identify each other, is what community you live in, because that really is going to tell you what school your kids go to and everything else. We know that language amongst ourselves as parents. This one is what we refer to as in town.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, I don't live in a community, I live in town.
Right.
And what that means is, the existing town that started the sprawling subdivision growth surrounding the center core of Middletown, which was incorporated in 1861. So as we, and I have clients that, like that house right there with the green roof. I had a client who sold that house, and I had a client who bought that house. So that house right there, actually, there they are. They're going in. Those are my clients, ironically. So they wanted to live in town, and
sure.
They're homes in town for what they were looking for. There wasn't a lot of them. So when that home came on the market, I already had a buyer in the queue who I said, hey, I found your house. And they
Right.
actually lived on this 2 blocks up, on the same street. And they moved up here. They were renting a house. It's a wonderful, wonderful couple. Just love them to death. And so, you know, they purchased that house. And the reason that they wanted to live here in town is because they can sit on that deck right there,
Right.
and watch the fireworks that are blasted off over there at Silver Lake Park, you know, for like the 4th of July and things like that. So there's a different lifestyle to living in town that goes with, you know, these schools here. So, you know, as we go here, we're about 2 blocks off of Main Street
Right.
and Broad Street. So we're coming up here on the corner of what will be Broad and 2 blocks from here. If we make a right, we're going to be on the corner of Broad, Main. And this is, you can walk to, you know, Sully's Tavern. You can walk to the new restaurant that's opened up, La Banca. You can walk over to Metro. So it's a different lifestyle here in town than it is living in one of these subdivisions, because you can
Gotcha.
walk to the park, your kids can walk to school. It's kind of the old charm of the old town, of what was Middletown. So it's the reminiscent of that, you know, small American town that you just don't get when you live in a subdivision.
Sure.
And you can see the Victorian, you know, style of homes here,
Right.
and just what is a thriving small American town. Which unfortunately we don't see that in a lot of towns anymore.
Right.
You know, a lot of towns we go to the main street, and you know, they're dilapidated homes or they're shuttered. You know, the main streets, because the malls have taken over, and that's just not the case here in Middletown.
Which is awesome. All right, so there's that tour started with the elementary school. So please, if you're finding any of this useful, especially the differentiation in lifestyles based on the approximate, the closeness of that particular school, hit a like button, leave a comment, let Ray know how you could do better. If you have any questions, yes, you're pointing at this
Town
point.
hall, that's town hall right there.
That town hall, gotcha. All right. And we'll see you on the next tour.